Well, here at home, a local man vanished nearly a decade ago. His family says the last man to see him alive will not talk. Now they hope a twist in the case will give them some closure. ONN's Kristen Severance sat down with his mother and sister and has this new report.
Eddie Vanatter's family knows he is gone. They just have no idea what happened to him or why.
I will look for him. I will fight for this till the day I die. And then when I'm gone, my daughter will. We'll never give up hope.
Denise Shimrock's only son went missing in 2003. His disappearance marks the beginning of a 9-year search, first for Eddie and now for answers.
It's torture to not know.
The 32-year-old was living in Eastlake. His family says he was also doing drugs. Attempts to get him into rehab didn't work.
To see someone that you love deal with that is very, very hard.
Vanatter was living with a friend, John Caputo. Eddie's sister said the two weren't getting along.
They got into an argument, and John called off of work.
Caputo claimed Vanatter left with a person named Mark.
I even asked who Mark was, and John didn't know. But as it comes out, nobody knows Mark. Nobody.
His family didn't hear from Eddie for weeks. They say Caputo kept in close contact.
He wanted to know about the investigation. He didn't seem concerned about Eddie.
When weeks turned into months, they knew something was terribly wrong. Eddie's mother reported him missing in January of 2004.
To my knowledge, never did too much to locate him or find out what happened to him.
Months turned into years.
It just was tearing me up inside.
4 years later, in 2007, they get a call. Not from Eddie, but from a man determined to find him. Eastlake detective Tom Doyle was on the case.
Well, what's happened to prompt this?
They said Detective Doyle was working another case when an inmate brought up Eddie's name.
Somebody killed Eddie Vanatter. Go out and find out what happened to him.
Lieutenant Doyle started working every lead.
He's had the house checked, the garage checked with cadaver dogs. He's, gotten John Caputo to take a polygraph, which he has flunked miserably.
Years would pass without any concrete evidence of his disappearance. They say Caputo wouldn't help.
I said, well, then why aren't you helping? And I said, you will be forever linked to my brother's case.
Things went quiet until Vanatter's family started seeing Caputo's photo in May of 2012.
I see his picture in the newspaper, that he's robbing banks. John was self-destructing. To rob 5 banks is self-destructing.
Vanatter's mother then gets a call at home.
Hello, this is Denise. Please leave your name and number and I'll return your call. Thank you.
My machine got the phone call and he said that he didn't harm my son, he's never harmed anybody, and that he was checking out, meaning he was going to kill himself.
Instead, he turns himself in to Eastlake police.
Drop your name. Put your hands behind your back.
Vanatter's family thinks maybe now he'll talk to police about their son.
It's got to play on his mind. It's got to bother him.
Police do too.
Well, yes, I believe he knows and he has some ideas as to what happened with this incident.
Detective Lieutenant Robert Gonzalez took over the Vanatter case when Doyle retired.
Maybe now with this bank robbery charges hanging over his head that he would hopefully assist us in assisting the family and finding out what happened to their son.
Gonzalez said Caputo refused to discuss the case.
For him to be very antagonistic and standoffish about it and not explain, it's difficult.
I wanted to get Caputo's side of the story, so I called the jail. I'd like to make a request for a jailhouse interview. But when a jail official told Caputo about my request, he said he would never talk to me or anyone else about Vanatter.
I believe John knows what happened.
Gonzalez said the case is open and will remain open until they find Eddie.
You just don't let incidents like this slide and just fade away.
His family has filed for his death certificate.
I never thought I would have to bury my son, but I don't even have my son to bury. I don't even have that. I have nothing.
They know he's gone. They just want to know what happened to him and why. In Eastlake, Kristen Severance, the Ohio News Network.
Calls to John Caputo's attorney were not returned. If you have any information about the disappearance, you are asked to call the Eastlake Police Department.